Had pizza for Common Sense Keto for our video today. I am going to, a fathead pizza is a mozzarella cheese and cream cheese with almond flour and an egg crust. And the first thing you do, you got 2 ounces of cream cheese and a cup and a half of just plain nice mozzarella cheese. And we're going to microwave this. And the recipe for this is at ketoconnect.com. So we're going to run over to the microwave and I'm going to put it in for about 30 seconds. And then we're going to mix it, and then we'll do it in increments of 30 seconds until it's nice and smooth and kind of a sticky mess, and I'll show you that back in a minute. This is what it looks like after 30 seconds. As you can see, it's not terribly melted yet, but I'm going to give it a quick stir. And then I'm going to shoot it in for microwave it for another 30 seconds. And as you can see, this has only been a minute. And it's really good and sticky. But I'm going to just do another 20 seconds. Everyone's microwave is different, so how long you microwave your your cheese will be different. And as you can see, this is pretty good. Now, I forgot to get some oregano out, so I am going to do oregano because I'm going to put a little oregano in this. So if it gets too cold, you can microwave it again if you forget something like I just did. And I have a whole lot of herbs over here. You don't have to put oregano in it. Some people put oregano, some people put garlic, some people put onion powder. I'm just going to put the tiniest bit of oregano in this and a tiny bit of salt. And I'm going to mix it. See how nice that is? So now we're going to put 3/4 of a cup of almond flour, and this is very fine almond flour. You want the white almond flour versus almond meal. And I'm going to start mixing that. Now if it's too hot, your egg's going to scramble, but since I put the meal in first, it should not. So then there's 1 egg. And now I'm going to quickly mix it up. And you can get in with your hands and knead it. I do that a lot once it's kind of mixed in pretty good. And as it's coming together, you can see it. And it's not mixed great yet, but it will be. So it's warm. So if it's too warm for you, you can't do this, but I'm just mixing and kneading this flour in with it. And this doesn't look like much, but it comes together quite nice, and it's really quite tasty. And if you want to know about how much oregano, first it's to taste, but I only put about 1/4 teaspoon of oregano in it, and I always, when I put oregano or any herb in something that's dried, I also rub it and crush it, and it makes the flavor come out more. So it releases the oils. Now I need to wash my hands, and then we're going to roll this out to get it ready to bake. See, that's how long it took. It took 2 minutes to make your own pizza crust. Quicker probably than Domino's. Slice sheets of parchment paper. Parchment paper is really helpful when you're rolling out something such as fathead pizza crust. And actually, a rolling pin is not necessary, but it's nice to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this pizza crust up with the 2 sheets, and then I can start kind of pushing it out a little bit. And then I'm going to start rolling it when I get my rolling pin. Okay, I'm back. So this pizza dough rolls right out. I like mine thinner because I think it tastes crispier and It tastes better than a real thick one. However, what you need to do is experiment with what you like. And I'm going to peel this back so you can see my crust. And it's not a bad size right now. I'm going to make it just a tad bit thinner. And it'll be ready to go in the oven. And we pre-bake these crusts so they stay firmer. And then what I'm going to do, now that I peeled off one side of my parchment paper, I'm actually going to go around just like an old-fashioned pizza and try to make a little bit of an edge on it. You don't have to do this, but it is very aesthetic. I guess it looks good. Now, one thing I kind of like to do is poke my pizza a little bit, and I'm just taking a knife. You can take a fork. I just grabbed the first thing I had, and making some holes so it doesn't puff up as much. So just kind of stab it a few times, and it'll keep it flatter. And then I'm going to throw this in my old pan. This pan is given to me by my father, and my father's been gone 30-some years, so that's how old this pan is. So anyhow, it's ready to bake. And we're going to throw it in the oven and be back in just a couple of minutes when it comes out, and then I'll show you how I'm going to top it.
"12 minutes.
12 minutes later, the timer goes off, and the recipe says 12 to 15 minutes. My oven, 12 minutes. It looks just like this. It puffed up even though I docked it. So now it's time to dress the pizza. What you put on your pizza depends totally on your taste. Every time we do it a little different. I actually forgot to buy tomato sauce at the grocery store, but I have ricotta cheese. So I'm going to actually make a spinach ricotta pizza today. So first I'm going to do is put a little dabs of ricotta on my pizza. And I left this paper under it. You don't have to. Now actually I can pull it out and it didn't stick. But it just made it easy for me to slide it in my container. The best, if you're going to use ricotta, the best ricotta to try to find is full fat ricotta versus part skim ricotta cheese. You want all the fat you can eat, which is absolutely mind-altering from how we have done things for so many years with low fat. So this is I just spread some on over here. And I'm going to put a little salt and pepper on my ricotta, because ricotta can be a little bland. So I need to get some at my salt cellar. I have a little salt cellar I keep on my stove, and I'm just going to sprinkle. And then I'm just going to put a little pepper. You can put red pepper flakes on this if you'd like. That would be delicious. Right now I cooked some frozen spinach in the microwave, let it cool, drained it really thoroughly, and I'm just going to break this up. This way I feel like I did something healthy. I got a little vegetable in my meal today. Obviously, there's still carbs in this meal. This is not 100% carb free, but I'm not aiming for a zero carb lifestyle. I'm aiming for a low carb lifestyle, as low as I can get it. But I still want to enjoy my vegetables and some health benefits of the vitamin B from the spinach. If you have fresh spinach and you saute it and squeeze it out, that would work too. For this application, for me, frozen spinach is really good. And it's a kind of an ingredient I tend to keep frequently in my freezer. The next thing I'm going to put on is some more mozzarella cheese, because, well, you can't have enough cheese in some ways. So I'm going to I'm just going to sprinkle it lightly. Everything is to taste. Being from a traditional Italian household, we actually didn't put tons and tons of cheese on. And then I also have some sausage that I've cooked. And this is, I'm going to show you this. It's Jimmy Dean fully cooked sausage patties. And I chop them up and I saute them a little bit to get the oils to release and get a little brown because I think it tastes better. Use whatever you want or have. But I really do like this Jimmy Dean pre-cooked sausage. I keep it around the house. So if you want a fat bomb snack, a little piece of sausage, actually not a bad snack. It's good for lunch. It's good for breakfast with that egg, or you can even make a real thin egg crepe out of a scrambled egg and kind of eat it with your sausage, almost like a sandwich. And lastly, I'm going to put, of toppings, I'm going to put some Parmesan or Romano cheese. This is the bag I use from Sam's Club. And I use Pecorino Romano, which tends to be more from the region that my family came from. Parmigiano Reggiano is good too. It doesn't matter. Don't use the green can that's off the shelf. Get something out of the dairy case. Because if you look at some of those, they are so full of fillers that there's almost no cheese in it, and a lot of the cheese is adulterated. The last thing I'm going to do is just put a little bit of olive oil, but you could use olive oil or your avocado oil over it. I'm not sure I would enjoy the taste of coconut oil. Butter would even be good. So now this all has to go back in about another 5 minutes to melt, and then we'll be ready to have some pizza. I don't know if you can see. And we're back with our pizza. And there you go. I'm going to slip this onto the baking sheet. Now, or off the baking sheet, and it's ready to be cut. Probably should let it wait a second or two so the molten hot cheese doesn't go everywhere, but Miss Sarah's here. And she is getting ready to go to work tonight. So I am going to give her the first bite and let her scald her mouth and give us her impression on it. Some people may find this a little drier, and it is a little drier than your regular pizza dough. There's multiple kinds of pizza crusts out there, and so if this one doesn't float your boat, maybe, and look at the nice cheese string there.
Oh yeah.
If this one isn't what works for you, there's some that's going to. Now, Scara, be careful, that is screaming hot.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear the crunch. This one's going to be for Johnny.
Oh yeah.
It's cheesy. And this one will be for me. So that's it for today, folks, but come back and we'll have more.